here.
Deji just rests in the corner.
The referee allows them to wipe the blood from the face of Jake Paul. I do see Deji. He just got a nod from the crowd. He's feeding off him. Deji is growing. He 100%.
He's in and out really well there. He's also used his movement to move Deji around the ring, hasn't he? The referee is nice and close in there, making sure he can see every shot.
Jake just on the edge here. Just landing and using the size, a little bit of size advantage he's got to try and land and get out of the way.
No one thought when they saw the weigh-in yesterday it would go this far. That's the end of round 2. True Geordie, your thoughts?
I think Jake Paul's winning the fight, but I think Deji is showing a lot of signs that he can still win this fight. I'm impressed from both men, I've got to be honest. A lot of people might have thought Jake Paul was a bit of a pretty boy, couldn't take a punch. He definitely can't take a punch. And Deji is showing more heart than I think people thought he would have as well.
Yeah, I do reckon like a lot of people based on the weigh-ins had it in Jake's favour purely off the way he looks, but it goes to show that heart and that belief can get you so far in itself. And obviously, admittedly, yeah, Jake is probably winning the fight. Deji is not giving up, you know, and that heart and that desire to win.
And it's certainly not a steamroll as many predicted.
No way.
Including Jake Paul said, first round knockout, and it's definitely not gone that way.
We're about to enter the 3rd round. What does that mean for someone like Jake Paul, who was so confident going into this?
For me now, we're looking at fitness levels, guys.
Yes. Right.
This is a 6-round fight, and we're seeing them look very tired in the beginning of the 3rd round. I'll be shocked if this goes all the way. It's about cardio, it's about heart, more than anything else.
A tale of not judging a book by its cover as well, because 100%. A lot of people wrote Deji off immediately yesterday. And I mean, True Geordie, you came back from the weigh-in and you were saying, I think a lot of people are underestimating what Deji's capable
If it was a bodybuilding contest, they'd have one winner, but it's not. It's a fight.
Exactly. Shannon Briggs wanders behind the commentary table as round 3 starts off.
Good job from Jake Paul to get us underway. Right hand, Deji swings and misses, and it's a jab from Jake Paul. Arnie looks confident now. Right hand, but Jake Paul is smashed in the face by Deji with a 1-2.
Incredible aggression there from Deji.
Deji is very reactive. Yeah. He reads boxing quite well. This is what Vidal was telling us, and we're seeing it in action now.
You're only really left to wonder what Vidal would have done with this fighter if he'd have stayed under his tutelage.
He's doing pretty good so far.
Incredible work.
That jab of Jake is really effective. I think that is what is winning the fight for Jake so far, the jab.
Jake's got this one on point so far, heart-wise, Deji.
Yeah, 100%. But like with that jab, as Geordie says, it just puts you off. It gets you off your rhythm. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't give you a chance to think about what you want to do.
It's an important point to make, is 1 minute is gone in the 3rd round.
Left hook from Jake, and a right hand from Jake. He follows it up with a left straight.
Both of those land at the side of the ring here.
Oh, and it's an overhand left from Jake Paul. But he leaves himself open, but Deji cannot capitalise. He's tiring now, Deji. But so is Jake. It's a grueling fight, this.
Both of their hands have gone down quite a bit. Their defence isn't up anymore as they lock up. You can see they're both getting tired at this point, right?
Yeah. The crowd is so animated at ringside. It's different than any fight so far. People are getting leery.
Deji's corner absolutely screaming at him.
Deji looks to close Jake down, but Jake moves away well, circling away. Deji against the ropes. Oh, and it's Jake who's in the corner, but he clinches and the ref will separate. The ref is covered in blood here.
Yeah.
That white shirt will not wash out in the morning. Right, left, and Deji's getting landed on, but he answers back with a straight right.
He's going punch for punch here, isn't he?
Jake must be impressed with Deji's heart, yeah. He thought he wouldn't be standing. And despite landing repeatedly with that jab, Deji is still there.
Jake's face is absolutely ruined right now.
This is a hell of a fight, lads. I've got to say, I'm really impressed with both men.
Took a big punch as he moved in there, though.
That jab of Jake is really doing the damage, though. That's got to be the difference so far.
Jake, a few words in
Deji breathing heavier than he has so far. We'll see in the wind.
I just made eye contact with Deji and his eyes were rolling a bit. Whether that's cardio or the constant jabbing, we don't know.
Oh, and Deji answers with the right, but he misses after Jake lands another jab.
That was wild.
But that was bad intentions. That's what he swung and he meant it. He's trying to hurt Jake.
Wild. End of round 3. No one in the arena would have thought at the beginning it would go this far.
Fantastic from the lads.
As both guys return to the corner. Jake kind of got the best of that round as well there, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as obviously like energetic as the previous two, but try me. It is almost a 50-50. None of us predicted this. Like,
It's kind of a 60-40 at the moment, isn't it? Purely on
yeah,
points.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, True Geordie, what are your thoughts?
I feel like we're going to start seeing the cardio really being tested now.
Yeah.
Going into that 4th round, I know you train for this, but it's a different thing altogether in sparring and going 60, 70, 80% to when someone's literally trying to take your head off and you're fighting for your life out there. And they'll be in the deepest waters of their lives right now. They'll have never felt anything like this. They'll be feeding off the energy of the crowd. They'll be feeding off the family. They'll be feeding off not wanting to lose. Let's see who wants it more, lads, because that's what it's about now.
Jake Paul must be wondering in his mind at the moment. I was meant to knock him out in the 1st round, and now we're going into the 4th.
Although he's up early.
Yeah.
He's up early. He's trying to get in the mind of Deji even now. Look, I'm fine. I'm fresh.
Deji's
He's not
still
breathing that heavy, Jake. I've
Deji.
got to say, Deji's definitely breathing heavier.
Absolutely.
But in the middle of the fight, we'll see how that takes its toll. Deji lands.
Jake Paul taking almost an elbow there.
Oh, that is a good hook. Good job again from Jake. Right hook. Again, he's following up. Deji is in trouble here. He needs to move off. He needs to circle out. He's in the corner. Jake's pinned him, and it's damage. It's constant damage. Deji manages to get himself out of there.
Heavy arms though from Deji.
Oh, and it's another jab from Jake Paul.
Deji seems to be having some sort of trouble with his head guard.
Right
at the
hook.
moment.
Deji is getting clobbered now. He needs to make sure he gets those hands up and circle away. He's against the ropes. Another jab from Jake Paul. Deji cannot keep taking this level of punishment.
Puts his arm around the back of Jake Paul again just to get some respite.
Jake Paul, he's in trouble. But he's spun him around. And Jake Paul switch. He shakes it off as if it's nothing. Jake picking his shots. And he's pinned Deji into the corner. Wow. Deji lands an uppercut there.
Still got 1 minute and a half as well.
Jake pacing himself here. Looking to pick the right shot. Deji looking to react, and he does so with the right hand. Oh, and it's an overhand right from Jake. He's got him in the corner. Body shot, swinging. Deji's still going though.
He's still going, but
there's not much behind the
I
punches,
know,
is
it
there?
looks like he's very almost sluggish as
It's-
he moves around the ring.
The energy is sapped from
Yeah,
those
100%.
muscles. And it's a left hook from Jake. Followed up with a jab. And it's a body shot. He's got Deji in the body. He's going to the body. He's trying to will him down. Right hook, left. Deji's taking a lot of punishment here. The referee looking to step in, but Deji answers with an uppercut. And they are separated. Credit to Deji, he is still going. The crowd chant Deji. Deji tries to adjust his head guard.
Does he secretly want a breather though? I feel like that's
Without
what
a
it might
doubt.
be more than anything.
This is him wanting a breather.
100%.
It's a good tactic though, to be fair to him.
Jake going to getting some tactics from his corner.
Keemstar just shouted, not so easy, is it, Jake?
not so easy. He's ribbing him.
The crowd are in Deji's corner, but Jake comes straight ahead with a left hook, straight in Deji's face, body shots. Deji answers with a left hook of his own. And that's the end of the round, and a big deep breath from both boys.
I really do see Deji struggling cardio-wise. He's literally leaning on his coach as he sits down. I don't know, mate.
Can we get a couple of words from
Keemstar?
Oh my God, this is amazing. Deji is on fire. He is shocking the world. That uppercut in this corner, amazing. He's going to win this thing.
Keemstar there in the corner of Deji.
Wow, incredible stuff. Jake Paul sits back, and I mean, he will be slightly in shock at this point, won't he, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, when you've built it up in your head that your opponent's going to be one way and they're not like that, it can't do anything but throw you off at least a bit. Jake just got to dig deep now. He probably feels like he's running on empty, but he's just got to dig deep. Likewise with Deji, obviously, Jake does still seem like he's using his tactics, using his boxing. He's not just fully swinging at nothing, which Deji does seem to do a little bit, but we'll see. How's it going to pan out?
Mate, it's been a great fight so far. I'm really impressed with the boys here.
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff here by the side. It's interesting to see the reaction as well of the crowd, isn't it, at this point? Because everyone is reacting so well to the way that Deji has led this fight.
I kind of feel sorry for Jake a little bit because he's obviously winning the fight and no one's giving him any credit in the arena, but he's coming for the W, and so far it looks like he might get it unless Deji can do something dramatic, and he's certainly trying.
Just about getting through it at this point for both these
Oh, a
fighters.
good left hook from Deji. Jake Paul caught with a straight as he trying to land that hook. He's trying to pin him into that corner and just dish out the damage.
Seems to have worked quite well so far.
Yeah. Deji not really circling out. And to the body again, Jake Paul. He's hammering that body of Deji. Deji holding on.
Can't help but respect the way Deji's fighting back, though. At no point is he accepting defeat, which 100% respect.
You hear the voice of Keemstar in the background there, just yelling up at him.
Jake Paul swung with bad intentions and he lands with the left into the body. He's got Deji hurt here. Deji is rocked. Without a doubt, Jake Paul's going to work and he's looking for the big punch to end this. Can he get it? The referee's going to step in for us. The towel has been thrown in.
The towel
has been thrown in by Deji's corner and Jake Paul is your winner.
Wow, no one expected that here in the Manchester Arena. But what a fight we had.
Amazing.
Wow.
Jake Paul on the ropes, hands in the air. Unbelievable scenes here.
Deji's team surrounding him as well.
Deji can barely stand, bless him. What an effort from the young man. He's got everyone's respect in this.
Absolutely.
Both men struggling to stand. They are exhausted.
Neither fighter has approached the other yet. You can see there's bad blood between the two. As True Geordie goes to step into the ring.
I mean, people may say some things about the towel getting thrown in, but at the end of the day, the corner was just looking after their man. Like, it's what they got to do at the end of the day. Deji didn't give up. Deji didn't stop fighting. Can't help but respect it, but you know, Jake was winning the fight.
Well, see True Geordie stepping into the ring now. Joe, that was pretty brutal to watch, wasn't it?
Unreal. I mean, obviously, it felt like from the opening bell, Jake Paul's face was busted up, but didn't stop him. He picked Deji apart, didn't faze him too much being busted open, but the deserved winner, you've got to give it to him.
Absolutely incredible, yeah.
And how would this now play on Logan and KSI's minds?
Well, True Geordie waits in the ring to hear more from both of the fighters, I'd imagine. Who will we hear from first? Probably Deji. More and more people get into the ring as if this was the final fight. It isn't. You are still tuned in for KSI versus Logan Paul.
That's the thing. We've had so much cracking action.
Oh, yeah.
And we've still got another one to go.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Honestly.
This stream has been epic. Ups and downs along the way. Different personal moments from each of the fighters.
I know. Obviously, YouTube aside, all of that, the numbers and everything, every single person that stepped in that ring has given it their all. And you can't help but take your hat off. Do you know what I mean?
Isn't it? Michael Buffer stands in the centre of the ring. What a moment this would be for Jake Paul to hear his name called out.
100%. You see, obviously, Deji's team consoling him. How is this going to affect him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Going forward, you've just got to hope that he can, if anything, learn and grow from this.
Yeah.
In some way, you know.
And definitely, this will, if he takes it the right way, reinvigorate his YouTube career.
100%. I mean, it's all about how he deals with it now. If he's humble and honest and open with the fact that he's lost, then it's great. And that's what we like to see, a handshake from the boys.
Yeah.
And a few words. Very, very lovely to see.
That's beautiful. See the camera sweeping in. You've seen a very personal moment there from a long distance. That hate seems to have dissipated at this point.
Yeah.
The two brothers sitting behind the scenes. I wonder what they're feeling like.
I wonder. The news most definitely has got through to them.
Yeah. And I don't think...
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Gareth Morris, at the bequest of the corner of Deji, has to call a halt to the bout. The official time is 1 minute, 55 seconds of round number 5. The winner by TKO victory from the United States of America, Jake Paul. A round of applause for Deji. He gave all he had. Let's give him a hand.
Good to see the crowd clapping their hands for the boys.
All right, I'm here with your winner, Jake. I'm here with your winner, Jake Paul. Jake, that was not the way you expected this fight to go, but you got the win. How do you feel?
I feel amazing, man. I worked so hard for this. Deji fought an amazing fight. I respect him. I hope he learned a lesson about the things that he said, because he said some shit about my family that wasn't cool. So hopefully he can learn from that. But much respect to Deji. No hard feelings. But I feel amazing.
And it's all culminated into this. 15,000 people in the Manchester Arena and millions of you watching at home. We've got 7 undercard fights coming up for you. We've got the clash of the brothers Deji and Jake, as well as the main event, of course, which is KSI versus Logan Paul. So before we kick off all into that, I've got a man who knows what he's actually talking about. Spencer, you've actually been organised in making this event happen. And of course, you are also a boxer.
Yeah, I have. All the Europeans are back away many moons ago now. So, yeah, I know inside the ropes, I know outside the ropes, but helping put this event together, and it's been to Phil Rose, how we finally got there, and it's fantastic this evening as well. And I'm really looking forward to this one. Now, I know KSI, Logan Paul, Deji, and Jake, as well as the undercard, have really put in a lot of hard work for this. And they're looking for recognition from the boxing world. They've brought in all the big names in boxing, and I think they're going to get that as well. I think they're going to put on a big performance tonight.
I mean, okay, so one of the things obviously that everyone will know following this kind of story, it all kind of started off as a bit of a joke, and it kind of escalated into other fights and stuff like that. And some of the drama in the lead up to this particular event, obviously, you know, Deji turning up and getting a little bit of a slap from Jake there earlier on this week. There's been a lot of drama.
Yeah.
Is this quite common in normal boxing or not really?
Yeah, I think there's always a lot of tension in boxing, especially when the stakes are so high. You've got to remember, these are, you know, some of the biggest YouTubers in the world, so there is a lot of eyes on them. There's, you know, tens of millions of people. Tens of millions of people, and it's something that's totally out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
They're not boxers,
Yeah.
you know, they've only been doing it a few months, so yeah, it's a huge amount of pressure. 18,000 sellout fans here, and yeah, it's a difficult job. It's a big ask, so of course the tensions are going to run high, and we did see that earlier on in the week with Jake and Deji.
No, but, I mean, I suppose it's a different thing than perhaps like in your time where, you know, okay, you might hear booing actually at, you know, a boxing match. Whereas with these guys, like, if they don't win, you know, millions of people will give them stick about it, basically. And that's a hard thing to reckon with and reconcile.
Yeah, because listen, two boxers should get ultimate respect from the fans, from their opponents, when they step through them ropes, because it's a difficult thing to do. But I know what's at stake for these guys, because there is, you know, a lot of social media surrounding these guys. They're going to be getting a lot of stick, you know, on social media, so it's going to be difficult for them. They've got to win. The stakes are really high.
What was one of your most pressured situations as a boxer? Anything like on this scale?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, when I was boxing, you know, for the European title was a massive pressure for me. I was only a young kid. I wasn't expected to win. I was going in the ring as a big underdog, and I pulled it off. That was a big bit of pressure on my shoulders, you know, and I expect these guys will have a very similar amount of pressure on their shoulders. All right, it might not be for no boxing stakes, but in their world, you know, there's a lot at stake.
So I have to say, you know, I don't know an awful lot about boxing. It's not super my world. I've done a lot of research this week. One thing I've realised is that it's kind of more EastEnders-y than EastEnders, I feel. It's like there's so much kind of soap opera and drama and gossip. My goodness, the gossip sites about boxing. You think things like TMZ are crazy and they're talking about... Seriously, you boxing guys, you like to have a bit of a chin wag and a little bit of a...
Yeah, Julia, it's all about the mind games. It's all about, you know, some fighters can get defeated before they get in the ring. I think that's what Deji was trying to do, going into Jake Paul's gym. He was trying to play the mind games, trying to get inside his head. You know, they had a big tussle when he left. Did it work? I'm not sure it did, if I'm honest, because it never quite worked out. But fighters do that. They try and get the fight won before they step through the ropes.
So is it that mental, though? Is it that mental? Because, I mean,
Absolutely.
I think, you know, from the surface, people are going to watch a boxing match and think like, oh, well, just go in there, hit the guy hard and win. And obviously there's so much more to it than that.
No, listen, there's a lot of tactics, a lot of tactics involved. There's a fight plan. They go in there. If fight plan A doesn't work, they've got to have a plan B. You know, it's all about the mind games. You know, I don't know if you've heard the expression before when they say it's 80% mental, 20% physical.
Really?
Well, that's exactly it. Now, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
I'm going to go to the gym then. I'll be like, I'm just going to play mind games.
So let's tell you what's going on here with these guys. They've got 6 3-minute rounds. So KSI has boxed once before. Logan's never boxed before. You know, he's got some combat sport back history, but he's never boxed before. Yeah. They're doing 6 threes. That is so difficult.
That's long,
right? That is so long.
Celebrity stuff, right?
That is so long. So once all the physical stuff's been done, it's all about the mental strength. Yeah. Second half of the fight, they're going to have to push on. They're going to be doubting themselves. They're going to be asking themselves why they're here, why they're doing it. So it's all about the guy that can bite on his gum shield, and that's all the mind games and the mental strength.
Right. Okay, so, I mean, I'm super hyped about this. I have no idea how this seems to go. We actually have a little trailer for you, which is Deji versus Jake, which has actually turned into more drama than KSI versus Logan. So let's find out what's happened.
You want to box me now? You brought yourself into this. I'm sitting here and I'm challenging you, cuz.
You're challenging me.
I fight you. You train however long you want, and Logan fights KSI.
It all happened in LA when this bitch refused to fight my brother, so I had to step in. I had to step in and fight you myself. You're a bitch.
This ain't no game, dog. When you knocked out on the canvas, and your family's watching you. Welcome to relevancy, bitch.
All right, enough's enough, lads. I'm done.
The night before, you're going to be awake. You're going to be shaking.
That's what you think, man.
You're going to be getting into the ring, pissing yourself.
I'm so excited for this fight. August 25th is going to be the best.
I'm going to cut this hair.
An awful lot has happened. How much do you think it's going to throw the brothers for, like, you know, KSI and Logan Paul if one of their brothers loses beforehand? Do you think it's going to really mess them up?
I think there's a lot of pressure on their shoulders. Yeah, I think that the first fight's going to going to count for a lot. I think that Deji's going in there. He believes he's going to win. I've been speaking to him in a build-up, not just this week, but for the last couple of months now. And Jake Paul's really up for it as well. So listen, every one of those guys believes they're going to win. And will it affect KSI or Logan if the brother loses? That's a difficult one. I'm not sure. I think that they might just have their own minds on their own game, but obviously the brothers want to win and they want their brothers to win. So I'm not sure how that's going to affect them. That could play a part.
Because you were talking before a little bit about having, plan A and plan B and plan C. So I guess, in their head, they must have run all the different eventualities just in case. Is that why when someone does something really weird in the ring or something a bit unusual, it kind of really throws people? Because you sort of it's when you haven't run that particular contingency plan in your head.
Well, that's what it's about. It's about playing with your opponent's mind. So say me and you are fighting. I'm coming forward.
There. Mentally, I'm
coming forward.
Right.
I'm pushing forward, and I'm working you, working you. And things are not quite working for me doing that. You're catching me a lot.
Yeah.
And I decide to go on the back foot. That can play with your opponent's mind.
Yeah.
And I think that's what these guys will have, all those strategies. They would have been through all that with their trainers. If Logan Paul comes out fast and he goes on the front foot, but KSI is picking him off on the outside.
Yeah.
They might tell him to go take a step back himself. I mean, there's a lot of tactics involved in the sport of boxing. How much these guys have done, I'm not sure. They've only been training for a few months, and I'm not sure. I've seen the improvement of these guys, in the last few months. It's been phenomenal. I'm really expecting a good fight here. I think that both fights going in are quite even. Who's going to win? I'm not sure.
You haven't put a cheeky bet on?
I haven't put a cheeky bet on you.
No, I haven't. Okay, right, we have got another trailer for you for the main act, which is KSI versus Logan Paul. Let's find out what's been happening.
Your winner, KSI! Obviously, if man's got this belt right now, you can come get it. Logan Paul, do you want some, bro? I'm ready, yo.
Yo, you want to be fighting me right now? Came here to close the deal? Okay. Let's close the deal, all right? Logan Paul versus KSI, August 25th.
Who's ready for the biggest internet event in history? Can't wait to punch you right in your stupid smug face.
I don't think you realize what you've walked into.
No, and it's gonna be pretty. And you're gonna be worried. You're gonna be in the fight, and you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, this is real."
This is the fight.
If you weren't already super hype, you're absolutely mega hype right now. So next up is our first undercard, which is Drizzy Jeremy versus Halal Ham. Now, these guys only joined the ticket very, very late. They've only had like a month to train. Yeah. I mean, are we actually going to see a good fight? Can you learn anything at once?
I think the undercard's really good, actually. I mean, at what technical ability they're at, I'm not sure. As you rightly said, some of them have only been training a few weeks. I know they've all taken it seriously now, but they're all staying in my hotel, so I've had a chance to speak to them individually. Okay. They're all really up for it, and when two guys are really up for it, you're going to get a good fight. What sort of technical ability we got? I heard some are really good, some maybe not so good, but you can guarantee good fights.
It's just going to be some good. It's going to be a lovely time we're going to have this evening.
Absolutely.
I think all round. Okay, so I think we should kick off with our first fight. We're going to chuck over to our casters now. That's True Geordie, Lawrence McKellar, and wow, Joe Weller is back after being hit in the face by JJ a few times last time. Let's see how.
All right. Joe Weller gets a wow, ladies and gentlemen. A man at WOAW. Quite honestly, I've moved up in the world since the last one. I think I deserve a wow.
Pretty wow, yeah.
True Geordie, yes. And we're doing KSI v Logan Paul today, lads. Good 4.5 hours. Hope you've had some snacks, get everything ready, because we're on now. Joe,
ready to rumble,
last
mate.
time you were the main event, but you actually thought of all of this. Like you were the brainchild of all of this. I remember you sending me footage of you and Theo. Right, I'm watching it on my laptop, commentating in my phone. Oh my God! Joe. Literally, it was you in an empty gym, me commentating on my phone. Now look, it's the Manchester Arena, mate.
It's crazy.
This is where it's gone to.
It has come a long way, to say the least. I mean, obviously, yeah, like where it started, just having the idea of just doing a random boxing match.
Where were you when you thought of that? Can you remember?
I don't know, I think it was whilst watching. I mean, I must have just been inspired through Anthony Joshua or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was just, I thought, yeah, me and Theo, let's do a boxing video. That's all it was going to be. And one thing led to another. And here we are.
People are getting rich off your idea. You should be asking for a cut.
Where's that commission? You know what I mean? But, oh well.
Oh God, Lawrence. Yeah, we did the last one. We had ringside seats for WOAW versus KSI. Yeah. It was quite emotional. Hopefully, I've learned a bit from that one because I was a little bit emotional during that one. Did you watch that back?
Mate, I saw it. I was literally like, I mean, I felt it with you. Like, honestly, you feel your emotions. Do you know what I mean?
There was a point, right? I'm not even lying, where obviously we could take the microphone away from us. We're mic'd up fully now, so we can't do that this time.
Yeah.
But I was like, I need to start throwing punches.
Do something.
I'm happy. Mate, you're safe and sound this time. There's no happening to this chin today, lad. I tell you.
You know, though, what is going through a lot of people's minds out there tonight, Joe, and so do you, Geordie, because you know what it's like to have a friend in the ring who's going to get repeatedly hit, and basically the other guy wants to knock him out. That's the goal tonight. I think that we can't understate that enough. People are looking to knock each other out.
Yeah, that's the difference, obviously, between, like, a lot of people have been comparing real boxing to this. Some people are quite bitter about this event. It's taken away from real boxers. I think real boxers should take some inspiration from this, of what you can create when people care about you as a personality. So many boxers, they've got a lineal mind state of, we're just going to get where I am on boxing ability. Well, clearly, these lads are going to do very well out of this event because people care about them. So, if anything, and not only that, can I just say, we can't even get the two best heavyweights in the world in a ring together right now. And yet, we can get the two biggest YouTubers in the world in the ring. So, and no offense to any bitter boxing fans out there, you know, look at your own sport before you start complaining about YouTubers.
But boy, does that mean we're in for a real treat tonight. We've got we've got a massive undercard. I know that some of these names are people who you would know for making ridiculous YouTube videos. Not necessarily punching, not necessarily boxing, not even necessarily anything sporting some of the time. And these guys have been training for months, making...
They're going to want to make a name for themselves.
Exactly.
Because we know that this is the biggest event in internet history, we're going to see lads who you might not have heard of before surprise you. And that's going to be exciting, because I think in this list of names we've got in front of us, one person is going to shine tonight that you weren't expecting, and that's going to be fun. And there are some legit, there's an amateur MMA fighter on there, there's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt on there. There are people who generally are combat fans.
And as this undercard goes on, obviously leading down to the main event, we're seeing more and more and more talent, more and more time spent training. There's some grudge matches in there, aren't there? And it's comparable to the way that you felt with JJ, obviously, last time, Joe, because people like Anisong Gibb and Jay Swingler...
I think, like, naturally what happens, like, even if there's not, I guess, a reason for beef or whatever beforehand, if one guy's saying, I want to beat you, and the other guy's saying, I want to beat you, that's a beef in itself.
It sort of mentally creates that competition.
So, and obviously, like we're seeing, especially like Anderson Gibb, Jay Swingler, it's making them turn a bit nasty towards each other.
That's the dark horse of this event. I feel like that's the one that people... there's a young audience coming with the Paul brothers, and some of those, that's when parents might be watching go, like, because these are going to be quite violent, I think, these two lads. They're playing for keeps. Jay Swingler has come out and said, I'm putting 3 businesses on hold for this. I'm going to knock this guy out. I'm not putting them on hold for nothing. And Anisong Gibb, we watched him spar JJ in the Can't Lose documentary, which I thought was very good. And you see that the lad's relentless. It's non-stop pressure. He's not going to give you time to pick him off. We're going to see someone who's just come into... He's got a black belt in barroom brawling, this guy, quite honestly.
And a black belt in
other things as well, but not necessarily boxing.
Pack openings on FIFA as well.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously looking through that undercard as well, there are some well-known names in there. We're looking at JMX, who was on the undercard last time. He actually had quite an easy fight last time, didn't he? This one we're not expecting to be as easy, but for different reasons.
Coach Richard is 100-meter sprinter. Yeah. So the fitness that's going to come with that is on another level than what he had to deal with last time.
And you were speaking to his coach this morning, weren't you? You were speaking to the coach of coach. Yeah. And he was saying he's not had very much time to work with him, but he does still have belief in his fighter.
The thing for me is that, like, where JMX has obviously had the last fight, as though admittedly it was easy, he trained for that. He's trained for this one. It is that experience, being comfortable under those sort of circumstances, that I think are so valuable. And I think with obviously Coach Richard only having 1 month to train, he can be fit, he could be an ex-Olympian, but it's a different story once you're getting like hit in the face in that sort of scenario.
And JMX comes from the same training camp as Anisong, as JJ, so you know that the level of training they're getting is going to be high level.
Should also say this, because on our notes here it says he was meant to fight Ramel from TGF Bro. This is Joel from JMX. He was meant to fight Ramel from TGF Bro. He was meant to fight Halal Ham. These guys are much better paired up than they were last time because there was a much bigger field of guys to pick from. People were suddenly eager to get in the ring, and maybe, Joe, they didn't realise what they were in for.
100%.
They're wanting to make a name for themselves. What they don't realise is it's a much cushier number on commentary.
Those guys are idiots. I mean, really, are you as nervous? Are you as nervous as you were last year at this time? Do you remember what you were going through at this point?
That's the thing. At this point, right? I mean, obviously, the first thing is that everyone is different. We don't know how people take pressure. Obviously, like for me, like being in this sort of, you know, we're a couple of hours away for some of them, even like 30 minutes for others. It's almost like you've accepted it is what it is. We are here, it's happening. But how much of it is just convincing yourself because you've got to do it, and how much of it is genuine belief that you can actually win?
Is there a bit of you that creeps in that you're like, maybe I'll just pull an injury?
Yeah. I don't think anyone. I don't think it gets to that point because that's it. That's even more embarrassing. But like, the full acceptance of what's about to happen. It's just the belief, the genuine belief. Now we find out if it's real.
But if ever there was a cushy number, it'd be a cushy number with Harry Bow. And True Geordie is going to be well stocked with Harry Bow tonight.
There's some interesting names on this list we're looking at. Faye Sensei, I've seen him spar with JJ's trainer, Vidal.
He's a mixed martial artist, isn't he?
He's an amateur MMA fighter, and he's a beast, I think is a fair statement.
Do you, how much...
Sorry, I literally look tiny. No, I look tiny compared to you guys.
Can we just clarify? Joe Weller is an average-sized man. He's just sandwiched between a very tall Lawrence McKenna and just a wide, tall
mountain
of a man called True Geordie.
Can I ask Joe, have you ever had any fighting experience before you decided to pick up boxing?
No, absolutely none. Not even like scuffles in the streets, like nothing. So
the main events, when I was talking to Logan Paul on the True Geordie podcast,
huge podcast, really well shot as well. Really well shot.
He did say I've been watching fighting for years, and he started dropping names of MMA fighters and such, and that gave me a little bit more confidence that this wasn't just a one-off him, as well as the amateur wrestling background that he's got. And he's saying, look, I understand how fights work, and I think it's fair to say that Logan was probably